I'm sorry you have to buy this book. Seriously. Because it means you haven't been subscribing to the Legacy Road Communique, the newsletter where all these articles appear. It's a compilation, second compilation of articles that have appeared in the newsletter and in a couple of newspapers. So all this time you could have been reading them for free. And a few of you have been subscribing and you're still buying the book, presumably because you want to have all the articles in one place for handy reference, and bless you for that. It is a collection on communication, which is a fairly broad umbrella, covering speaking, writing, presentation skills, storytelling, media, animals. I like animals. I'll read you an excerpt. It doesn't have to do with animals, but it does have to do with storytelling. Believe it or not. Ripley Move Over. Welcome to Speyer's Believe It or Not. I once overheard an odd story in the airport in Des Moines, Iowa. This was around 1970, and I was on leave, having just completed classes at the Great Lakes Naval Training Center. Before I went home to western Pennsylvania, I had arranged to head west instead of east and pay a visit to the family and friends of a school buddy who lived in Cedar Falls. I was catching a flight to Waterloo, which is only a couple of miles from the small town. My flight from O'Hare got in late, and my flight to Waterloo didn't leave until the next morning. Instead of springing for a hotel room, I decided to wait at the airport and make an adventure of it by sitting up all night. I heard the story at around 3 in the morning, which served to elevate an already creepy tale into the realm of the truly weird. I was traveling in my dress blues, but there were a lot of us flying in uniform in those days, so this 21-year-old kid wasn't attracting any attention, slumped in my chair with my bag at my feet. I watched as two maintenance men in gray work clothes leaned on a cleaning cart and chatted in front of the small restaurant, which was closed at that time of night. One maintenance guy was a grizzled veteran of many window washings and floor buffings, and he was telling the story to his co-worker, a rookie around my age. The older man told of something he had seen years before in that very restaurant. He was walking behind a young mother holding the hand of her little girl as they walked into the restaurant. When the mother lifted the little girl into her chair, the man saw that the little girl had only one eye in the middle of her forehead. His young friend was amazed. So was I. In fact, that bit of imagery kept me awake the rest of the night. Later, a few things occurred to me. As a story, it doesn't work very well except for the visual impression it makes. In fact, it's barely a story at all. There's no real structure, just a brief setup and a fast, stunning payoff. But something else also occurred to me. Was it true? There's a concept in fiction called the unreliable narrator. For one reason or another, the person from whose point of view the story is told can't be counted on to be telling the truth. Maybe because of mental illness, a hidden agenda, lack of knowledge, or general mendacity. Common examples are Henry James' The Turn of the Screw, Ken Casey's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Usually I would regard the old guy as being unreliable simply because I didn't know him, and because the story, while possible, is fairly out there. And yet instinct makes me believe him, mainly because of the lack of detail and embellishment in his story. Shaggy dog stories tend to include too many extraneous details, but this fellow's tale was lean to the point of starvation. I was working at a disadvantage because I didn't know either of these guys from page 8. Maybe the rookie was totally gullible and the old guy knew it and he was just shining him on, either out of boredom or to put off mopping the restrooms. But I didn't really think so, because I could tell that this wasn't the first time the older man had told this story. Besides, of all the scenarios he could have made up, why that one? One possible lesson is not to believe everything you hear. But in nonfiction storytelling, be it a family history or a business anecdote, your narrator should be regarded as being believable. Now this compilation is very rare. A collection of essays in book form. It's not done. Maureen Dowd, David Sedaris, and me. That's all. Unless you count all the other writers who've done it. My friend Dana Steele says to avoid 3 things in your marketing. Now, Dana's a rock star creator, so she knows. I titled it Cat Got Your Treadmill, but Dana says you should avoid politics, religion, and cats. 2 out of 3, Dana, 2 out of 3. The book is available on Amazon, but if you get it through me, you get free shipping through Father's Day. jspeyer.com. I hope to see you there. By the way, if enough of you and your friends buy this book, I can get better paneling. Win-win.